Hey folks, thanks again for watching. It's Pro Libertate, where we discuss liberty, politics, philosophy, and theology. I just wanted to play this little video from The Onion. Remember when The Onion used to be funny? Um, why isn't The Onion funny anymore? If you're on social media, you'll know that Babylon Bee has kind of taken the place of The Onion as the premier outlet for satire and humor. Um, and it's the old adage, get woke, go broke kind of a thing, right? That's kind of what's happened to The Onion. Um, their political hand shows too much, and it destroys the humor. It's like the stand-up comedy. Um, the stand-up comedians that are all trying to be politically correct and not step on the wrong toes, so to speak, they end up just not being funny, right? Because they're shirking away from obvious truths. Yeah, so, I mean, I remember trying to watch that Amy Schumer special. I think it was like a year ago that everyone was talking about how awful it was. And yeah, it was just downright awful. It just was not funny whatsoever. Similar sort of thing. There was a Netflix special. I think it was Ellen DeGeneres. Again, it just wasn't funny. And again, it's because there's no courage in there. There's no courage to say anything controversial, right? It's all this really mushy stuff that everybody, not everybody, but the gatekeepers of the narrative give the approval for. And that's what's happened to The Onion. And so here we are. I have The Onion pulled up here. And it's on Greta Thunberg again. And and this is almost like a little small test case, too, of how propaganda works. So this is really a leftist version of how to do satire, or what they think satire is supposed to look like, and humor. They got 5 things you need to know about Greta. I think that's what this was called. Yeah. 5 things to know about Greta Thunberg's climate activism. All right. It's supposed to be cute and fun, but it's just like, okay, you're actually kind of being propagandistic. But anyway, here, let's just play it through here. I'll just stop with each one. Okay. So why does she feel so strongly about climate change? She has the incredible capacity to think ahead. All right. So she's a 16-year-old. Okay. I don't know if any of you adults remember being 16. 16-year-olds don't have the capacity to really think ahead. They're stuck in the now. That's why she's so worked up. She really thinks the world is ending, and it's ending now. That's why she's so angry. And that's why she has these, barely coherent rants. Because she really believes the world's ending. She's been lied to by adults her whole life into thinking that the world's about to end. And so she's worked up about it because she's stuck in the now. She doesn't realize that nothing's going to happen. We're perfectly fine. The sea level has not risen. You can see photos of the sea level 100 years ago in certain major cities by the ocean, and it's the same as today. Okay, nothing's happened. So yeah, stupid. I mean, again, this is all trying to be cute, but it's really propping her up. Okay, and so. Far from being a forward thinker, just the inability to actually analyze what's going on, to analyze our place in history, and to see where we're going. All right. Anyway. So another one that's cute, but. They failed to mention, so who's taking the photo? right? So there's Greta sailing on her little boat, but who's taking the photo? Oh, that's right. There was boats that weren't carbon neutral or whatever that were following her to make sure she didn't die, so we could have this whole pageant of a girl sailing across the Atlantic to come and tell the deplorables in the United States to change their ways. We got this nice little story, but it's all bullocks. It's all theater, right? It's all just a stage, right? Just the fact that a child is put in the place of lecturing adults on how to make policy is absurd. And but the whole story is ridiculous from the beginning to the end. Okay, what is their speaking style? A weird and off-putting combination of honesty and clarity. Yeah. Like, no, she's a child lecturing adults, and it is shrill and off-putting for grown men to be lectured by a child. A kid that probably doesn't even make her own bed. Okay? And we're being told how to run the world. Just absurd. She has nothing to say other than the nonsense that the adults around her have filled her head with. There's nothing interesting to say. And, it's, again, exploitation. I said this in a previous video. It's exploitation to take a child, fill their head with a bunch of nonsense, and then put them up there as the spokesman for some political cause. That's not cool. And I don't understand why people are fine with that. I don't get it. I mean, yeah. Anyway, let's just go on. Yeah. Shouldn't she be in school? Shouldn't she be working? Well, no. The thing is she actually is skipping school. Like that's where that complaint comes from. She's supposed to be in school right now. Instead, she's over here in America lecturing us about climate change, right? Every week, Greta Thunberg each Friday skips school to go and protest outside of the Parliament building over in Sweden. Okay? So she is skipping school. That's the thing. She's 16 years old. She's supposed to be, working on her education and training her mind at this stage in life. Instead, she's put in a place of trying to lobby for political for policy. Yes, she should be in school. Nobody's skipping work to criticize her. Nobody criticizing her skipping work. It doesn't require me missing work in order to stand up and say, yeah, what she's saying is absurd. But for her to go and speak before the United Nations and all these bodies and wherever she was, the last week or two here in the United States, she's missing school, right? And this is the thing, and I said in the previous video, these children, she's basically a child soldier. And this is what the schools are creating. All the schools across, the U.S. were allowing children to skip out in order to protest for climate change, right? And like I said in the previous video, here's the double standard. Would children be allowed to skip out and go to a Trump rally? If Donald Trump is in town, would children be allowed to skip class to go and make signs and to wave signs around town about Donald Trump being in town, right? Would the schools sanction that sort of skip like they have for the climate change protests? Of course not. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. Okay? So that says something about the state of public education, right? Public education has a certain clear ideological bent. It's clearly bent to the left. And as I said in the previous video, this is something that the left understands better than people on the right. They understand the importance of education, right? People on the right are happy to concede the realm of education, and that's unfortunate. So yeah, I mean, so again, this is The Onion. This was their 5 points. This is supposed to be funny. Some of them are kind of just cute, you know. I mean, I bet you this was put together by a woman. But let me see. It just says from The Onion. But it's from The Onion, you know. It's not really funny. It's kind of, you know, this cheesy propagandistic stuff where it's like, yeah, Greta's great. And the people who don't like her, it's because they don't like a forward-thinking girl who's looking into the future and sees a problem. They don't like a girl who speaks with clarity and honesty. You know? Oh, you got a problem with her skipping school? Well, you should stop skipping work. Nobody's skipping work. What are we talking about? If you skip work, you get fired. What the hell? So they say such stupid things. I mean, this is what they think is clever. Comedy's supposed to be clever. It's supposed to be clever insights, right? You know, but it's just entirely lacking. Leftist comedy, it just ain't funny. Because they say nothing interesting. And they say nothing to break taboo at all. I mean, unless it's like a taboo of just, you know, taking a dump on, you know, the once Christian culture that we used to enjoy. Then it's like, oh, we're being brave and edgy. Yeah, real edgy. You took a dump on the church again. Good job. Way to go. Really brave. Really brave. You know? Nobody's done that before. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's just, this is what happens, though. Like the adage has come to be adopted by so many. You get woke, you go broke. I mean, The Onion, I don't know what their financial status is, but they're just not funny anymore. They're just not funny anymore. All right, thanks for watching. Take care.